We'll take him on board the lifeboat and then the helicopter will take him off. It's just the two of you on board. Okay.
I've been trying to do that.
Yeah, it's no problem at all.
Dad's done a huge amount of sailing before, and Dad had sailed solo around Ireland and done a huge amount of sailing in British waters. And so really when I was quite young, he got me involved in sailing. So we have a Moody 42 ketch called Lucina. Dad had sailed her up to Scotland, up to the Hebrides. We were sailing back down, but via Ireland. So we'd sailed down to Bangor in Northern Ireland. And our particular trip at the time was sailing from Bangor, Northern Ireland to Aberdaron in North Wales. And we were actually hoping to see some friends for a breakfast the following morning. We never got there in the end. So Dad woke me up at, I don't know the exact time, but it must have been about 4 o'clock in the morning. So I jumped out of bed and headed straight up. And he was pointing at we had navionics, so he was pointing at the screen, and I couldn't work out what he was trying to tell me other than the fact that we were not heading towards the right piece of land. So I asked him where we were going. And we used to have a house in Aberdaron, and Dad spent a lot of his life in Aberdaron. So he should have been able to remember where we were going, except from he couldn't tell me where we were going. So then I thought, well, this seems like a bit of a problem. And so his speech was getting worse. So then I asked him to lift his arms up. At the time, his face was still okay. I asked him to lift his arms and he couldn't lift one of his arms. So I thought, this isn't good. I radioed a mayday and the Coast Guard responded straight away. I kept Dad down below because I didn't want to tell him what I was doing in case I panicked him, because I didn't think his blood needed any more strain than what I thought it was under. Radioed the Coast Guard, they returned my call, and then they sent out the helicopter and the lifeboat straight away. I don't know exactly how long it was, but it felt like a very long time, but in reality it wasn't. We weren't that far away from them, and we were only a few miles offshore. So the lifeboat, I could see the lights approaching. There were no other boats out at this time, and so it was very easy to work out that there was a boat travelling at speed. It was the lifeboat, and it was heading towards us. As it got close, it radioed us to ask to come alongside. They jumped on board with their bow line and stern line and tied up alongside, so I didn't need to worry about anything like that. But it was just a big relief that there was something that was going to be able to take place. Something could start. There could be action that was going, like a solution, or some help was going to come. And so we were going to be able to get Dad the best help that he could get. So they jumped on board. There was about 4 of them, I think, and they went straight down. Owen stayed with me, and Marley went down to see Dad.
We'll take him off. It's just the two of you on board. Okay.
I've been trying to do that.
Yeah, it's no problem at all. And then what we'll do then, I'll stay on board with you, and we'll take the boat back to Portinllan, and we'll put up the mooring there. That's fine.
They assessed him. They decided that they needed to take him over to the lifeboat so that he could have the helicopter evacuate him from the boat. Dad, I'm just going to put this in your jacket.
We'll transfer you one small step over, and then we'll get you into the care of the helicopter.
This man's going to stay with me, Dad, so we're all safe. Will I be able to get there once I get to shore?
Yeah, it's well, I can drive you, that wouldn't be any problem. It's only 45 minutes away. Get him up then.
Just holding onto your waist.
Okay.
Slowly.
Okay.
So they brought him up and sort of helped him walk across and carried him across to the lifeboat and got him ready, and then the helicopter approached. Owen stayed with me and we left the lifeboat. They dropped our lines and we left. We headed back towards the shore. The lifeboat maintained its course, and then the helicopter picked Dad up from the deck. Dad was now going to where we'd be able to help him, and I was just able to do the sort of superfluous bits on the side that weren't important at this particular, or weren't as important at this particular moment.
I can't remember much about it. I can remember suddenly this man arriving, sort of something happened, I don't know what. Next second, whoosh, up I've gone, and next I was in the helicopter and didn't know much about it really. A little bit of memory, just tiny bits, but I'm obviously grateful for the RNLI and for my daughter who handled the boat and sorted things out, but I never said to her, look after this, do that, do the other, the sort of thing you would normally say.
The crew went completely beyond what they were required to do. They took me to the hospital, they offered me cups of tea, they gave me hugs. Owen, who came with me, he didn't just leave me at the hospital, he came in and made sure I'd found Dad. They offered me places to stay, they offered every little thing that they could offer to help with. They absolutely offered to do that, and multiple, a few of them would offer to do this. And ever since they've been in contact, how's Dad, how are you all doing? The care went beyond the actual rescue. It was much bigger than that.
From my point of view, it's nice to have the memory of it, but it's good that we can say thank you to all those people that went to great inconvenience to come out and help me. That's very kind.